It is time for you to enter your unbothered guilt era, because when I tell you the second that you stop stressing about, oh, but this person and that situation, or what's the outcome going to be of that, or what if I don't get this, or what about that mistake I made a year ago, or what does that person think about me now? Once you let all of that go, all of your desires will finally come to you. Because every time you question, but what if, but how do I do this, or I can't do this without them, you are in a state of lack and desperation, and that is literally repellent to the universe, which prevents all of the manifestations which were already on their way to you from coming to you. And that is why this video is all about how you master detachment. This is an actual thing, okay? There is an actual secret to getting all of your desires in life, and it comes from the spiritual law of detachment. And of course, we're going to break this down into all aspects when it comes to yourself, manifesting your goals, dating, relationships, situationships, other people's opinions, you name it, I've got it covered in this video. And before we get into it, don't forget that I have a podcast on Spotify so that now you can listen to all of my YouTube content on the go, and I have a jewelry brand which is launching very, very soon in the next few days. Please go follow it on Instagram, because all of the earrings I wear in my videos on my own brand. You guys have been asking me for so long, and I can finally reveal it, so make sure you follow so you don't miss out on the launch. Chapter 1, the laws of detachment explained. See, a lot of people get it twisted, because detachment is actually very simple. If you are able to attach in the first place, then you are equally as able to detach. Detachment is the art of experiencing our feelings without letting them control us. It's when you stop taking things personally, you start looking at things objectively, and you no longer get entangled in other people or situations. And the easiest way to understand this is through the 6 principles of the law of detachment. Here we go. 1, allow others to be who they are. Stop trying to change people, fix them, or force connections that clearly are not there. 2, allow yourself to be authentic. This practice will finally allow you to detach from the opinions that others have of you. 3, do not force situations. And this will solidify your new mindset that you are good and complete and content on your own. Your life is perfect because you actively create it, and you don't need anyone or thing to come and save you from it. 4, uncertainty is reality. It is time to accept that you can't control the outcome to every single situation. Things end. The events we plan might not follow suit. People don't act in the way that we expected them to. But that's okay, and that is completely normal. 5, know that everything happens for a reason. No matter how much it hurts in the moment or even a year down the line, it still happens within your favor. Every lost friendship, opportunity, person, or event is still working within your favor. This is really about detaching from the temporary sad moments by realizing that solutions will always emerge for you. And finally, 6, embrace it. Embrace the mistakes, embrace the loss, the pain, the uncertainty, the negative spectrum of emotions you go through, the bad days, because that's what life is all about. And instead of victimizing yourself and always thinking, why is this happening to me, which is attachment to expectations, you detach by instead saying, what is this trying to teach me? Because you know that the universe, the world, God, whatever you believe in, is working within your favor. You are no longer taking things personally, because now it's not about life attacking you, or you have such a hard life, or you're so unlucky. No, because things always work out in your favor. So if something bad happens, you know there is a lesson that needs to be learned from this, and this is gonna help me move on to the next phase of my life and help me grow into the person that I'm meant to be and flourish. And I'm so grateful for that, so I'm not gonna beat myself up about it. So many people ask,
but is detachment healthy? How do you still have a strong connection with people? When is the right time for it? How do you find balance in being detached?
Girl, so many people have so many different misconceptions about what being detached is, and I'm here to debunk all of them. For example,
yeah, but how do I become detached in a positive way and not turn cold or hurt the other person's feelings or not feel guilty for being detached?
Why are you feeling guilty for being detached? It's not a bad thing. It's not about turning cold. It's not about being negative, and it's not about not having strong connections with other people. Who has been teaching you all of these things? Detachment is very healthy in all aspects, not only just for you, but for everybody else involved, and this is why. Love without attachment is the purest kind of love. Because when you understand that your bond with another person could end at any given moment, and that they could betray you and break your heart at any given moment, but you still decide to take the jump and open your heart to them and care for them and invest your time and energy into your relationship with them, knowing that you might not get anything in return, because they are fully in their right to turn around and leave you, and you are fully in your right to turn around and leave them when they are no longer serving you or aligning with you, but you still stay in the moment because you value their energy and their character that much. that is love. Like, wow, just wow. You are fully aware and okay with the fact that they could hurt you, but you still stay. But on the other hand, society has normalized this version of love, which values attachment and has normalized it to be super romantic. The whole, oh, but I can't live without you and nobody else compares to you and you're irreplaceable and I could never be without you, nobody could compare to you, you are my other half. No, none of that is true, and attachment comes from a place of need and desperation. So why do we get attached in the first place? Let's dive into that for a second. We don't get attached to people to form a strong emotional connection with them, because you can do that when you're detached. We get attached to people because we are using them to fulfill one of our emotional needs that we have not taught ourselves to do yet. Maybe this is because we were abandoned or hurt, and there's a hole in our heart or just a piece of us missing, and we are now using other people to come in and save us and fix that wound for us. We attach to other people and use them as our new safe place, whereas people who are detached and have done the inner work and healing simply don't need to attach, because they have learned to become their own safe place. And this is why you need to start going against everyone else's belief that attachment in love is normal and cute, because it most definitely is not. And truthfully, I could say to all of the loved ones in my life, my family, my friends, whoever I'm dating, I could say, I am okay without you. I could leave you and create a great life for myself. I could find new people who maybe I could align with even better. That's because I know myself and I know what I need to have a great life, and it most definitely isn't other people. And even though I have all of that knowledge that even if I left you I could heal and be fully content, I still choose to stay here and be with you. Why? Because it's out of want, not need. You can be deeply involved with someone, love them with your whole heart, care for them, devote your time and energy into them, and still be detached. And a lot of people don't know that. The key is that you can be deeply involved but not entangled. Everyone thinks it's mean or cold or coming from a place of like resentment or deep hurt or trauma, when really detachment in its essence is literally only letting go of any emotions or thoughts that create suffering for me. For example,
oh my god, what if they leave me? Oh my god, what am I going to do without them? What if they cheat on me? What about the mistake I made 2 years ago? What if I failed that test?
No. When those thoughts come in, they're gonna come in, they're normal, and I'm gonna allow them to pass through without spending so much time dwelling on them and allowing them to define who I am and what my reality is. So for example, if I have just started dating somebody, sure, I care about you and I'm gonna show up to the dates, I'm gonna plan nice things for us and all of that, but am I worried about what your opinion is of me or whether you like me or what I can do to impress you more? No, I am detached, I'm fine, because even if you don't like me, even if I am giving off a bad impression, that's cool, then leave, because you know why? I'm gonna be fine when that day comes. That's all it is. But in the process, in the present where we are now, I'm still giving you all of my time, love and energy. AKA, it is always the right time to be detached, and detachment is the perfect balance in life. And right here, I just want to give a quick mention to, if you are scared of being judged for being detached, then you better cut that person off right away, because I hope by everything I've said so far in this video, you understand that being detached is a good, healthy, loving thing that you are also doing for everybody else in your life. And if somebody is trying to make you feel bad about doing that, that is not a good person to have in your life. In fact, they might be overly attached, dependent and needy, and then feel offended as a result that you are not equally trying to get intertwined with them, when in reality all you're doing is trying to protect your peace. And if they don't respect that or think that that's honorable, bye. Detachment is simply being cautious of what you are pouring your energy into. It is not being cold, it is you being responsible over your heart. First of all, don't beat yourself up for falling back into old patterns. It's only natural when you're making a big change in your life. For now, please give yourself a pat on the back for wanting to make the change in the first place and level up your life. You go, girl. But my main step for practicing detachment and staying consistent with it is, one, to start a new goal or hobby, because in this you become so passionate and so involved in something that in that stage you can start testing yourself and your limit. For example, testing yourself to make sure that that new goal or work or whatever doesn't start defining your worth and you're still detached from it while you're also still enjoying it. And I actually think journaling helps with this a lot, to see the origin of where your irrational thoughts are coming from. For example, some people think owning material things will define their success, or that having good grades defines their intelligence. And it's limiting beliefs like those which makes us live in a lack mindset and constantly be attached to external things. And once you actually journal and understand the origin of your attachment, you can then set limits in those particular activities to start practicing detachment instead. So for me, I was very overly attached to other people, relationships and friendships, so I started solo dating and spending a lot of time on my own so that I could signal to my brain that I was perfectly content in my life and that other people had no control or significant hold over me. Another example is recently I've grown very overly attached to my daily work and my career, so me setting limits is I have a habit tracker on my phone and I make sure I have balance in my life, so I'm not attaching and committing all of my time and energy into work because that's not healthy. So the first hour of my day is spent exercising in the gym. That is a non-negotiable. Within my habit tracker, I have a few things to tick off every day that are non-work tasks, like eating a healthy meal, like journaling, even like calling a friend. Like I have to tick that off. And that's me being disciplined, taking control back over my own life and knowing where my triggers are, which is me being attached to my work, and then setting limits in place to avoid me falling into that trap, so that in the process I'm practicing detachment. So before we move into chapter 2, here are some detachment affirmations. I have everything I need in this moment. What's meant to be will always find a way. My desires are always seeking me out, so it's safe for me to let them go and trust the process. I am okay with whichever way the situation goes because everything always happens in my best interest. I am aware of my feelings without letting them control me. I am not strict on my idea of how everything should be. Other people and myself can flow freely and I let go of all expectations. I focus on my own energy and my own life. I choose to be free from the good and bad opinions of others. And finally, I release the need to judge or criticize. Chapter 2, detached while dating. Easy. All you have to do is give dry responses when you're texting, leave before you get left, never let them see you hurt, always act indifferent, know that you can never trust anyone, and always mentally prepare yourself for the worst case scenario every single day. Girl, that is the most toxic advice ever, and that's what everybody thinks it means to be detached when dating, and let me tell you, that is so far from the truth. Please do not follow any of that advice. The following advice I'm about to give applies to dating, situationships, relationships, marriages, breakups, hooking up, romanticizing someone, you name it. It applies to anything under the dating umbrella. So the rule for this chapter is letting go. You are stuck in an energy of lack, scarcity, and fear. And this is a low vibrational energy which repels anything you are chasing after. Therefore, you need to let go of chasing in order to actually attract what you want and what you deserve. You need to reach a mindset where you genuinely don't care if somebody's taking a while to text you back, or they're being distant, or they're not giving you enough attention. And the mindset that's helped me get to this place is the following. A person is only ever ours to experience, and we should be grateful for the limited amount of time we get with them. We are not entitled to their love, time, care, affection, or them being with us forever. So I only focus on enjoying the experience with them rather than worrying about the outcome of what it will be. Because I know I like this person, so I'm so grateful to have the blessing of being able to experience their energy in the present moment, because I don't know how long I'll have it for. And that's okay, because everything in life is temporary. And in the process of having that mindset, I'm detaching myself from the thought processes of, oh my god, we're going to be boyfriend and girlfriend, oh my god, we're going to be together forever, and all of this, worrying about where it's going to go. We only ever have ourselves, and this is why I stress self-love and solo dating so much. Because that way, when things don't work out, we are happy to come back home to ourselves. Nothing in life is ours but ourselves. Eventually we lose everything, but we were meant to experience it anyway to get the lesson that it came with, so that we could grow into the people that we were always meant to be. Detachment, aka being okay with the loss, is the realest type of love, because that shows that you're not with someone for your own gain and advantage to heal your own wounds. And then there are the people who just cannot detach from situationships, people who have ghosted them, cheated on them, they're always checking their ex's Instagram stories, obsessing over their crush. Can you hear yourself? Like, actually, can you hear yourself? Because when did it become so normalized to commit so much time to obsessing over other people? I get it, you like them and they liked you too, and you probably shared really nice memories together, and they probably make you feel some type of way that you've never felt for anybody else ever before, but this is still not okay and not normal. Like, if you are genuinely curious and you are asking me, how do I stop obsessing over them? How do I stop wanting to check their Instagram stories all the time? You just stop. I hate to be that guy, okay? And I know I give a lot of magic formulas to everything, but when it comes to this, there is no magic formula except to have some self-control. Because if you've learned anything so far from everything I've taught you on detachment in this video, It's that the only thing we can control is ourselves, and you must relinquish your need to control everything else, okay? You can't control whether they're going to text you back, whether they like you back, whether they're treating you right. All you can control is your action in this scenario. So if you are sick of wanting to constantly check their Instagram stories, you are now going to practice discipline and put limits in place for yourself to help you start the process of you detaching, i.e. block them. If you have a Finsta account to try and stalk people or stalk your ex, delete that. You are literally allowing yourself to get entangled in this person and continue this obsessive attachment. I've taught you what detachment is. I've taught you the principles of the law. You know what it is. You now have to show up for yourself and admit, I know what the right decision is, but I am in denial because I'm attached and I clearly don't want to let go. Please be honest with yourself. I think another hugely important principle when it comes to dating and staying detached is not falling in love with the idea of someone. Stop fixating on people. It's not normal. The only person you should be obsessed with is yourself. Whether you're in love with the idea of someone and their potential because you've just started to get to know them, or you could be in love with the idea of someone long after they've exited your life and you're still romanticizing an ex or a situationship. First of all, still thinking about people long after is not a sign of how deep your love was with them or how much you cared about them. The only thing that's a sign of is that you are not okay on your own, and you need to fix up with that. Because a lot of the time we romanticize and we build up this version of somebody in our head because it makes us feel better about ourselves, and it creates this idea of someone that's going to come and save us. But that is not true, and that is another form of you being in denial. And just to push this belief further into your head, I want to say, love doesn't hurt us. Love doesn't betray us, okay? We shouldn't try and quit finding love. It's the attachment is what hurts us and breaks our heart. Our attachment to the idea of what that situation should have been is what hurts us. When you let go of that and you practice detachment and you still fall in love with people and you have deep and meaningful connections with them, but you simply do not prioritize trying to figure out what this situation is supposed to be, and instead you freely flow alongside it and all of your attention is in the present moment rather than the past or the future, there will be significantly less hurt. And lastly, I want to finish this chapter off with talking about why guys detach easier than women. A lot of people have this belief, but it's actually not true. Now, a lot of people might answer this by saying guys can detach much more easily than women because women are more emotional, men act more on logic, which yes, technically is true, but it's also still false because men aren't detaching. Men are just pros at suppressing their feelings, acting like they're okay when they are very much not, okay? Women will cry it out, they'll feel their feelings, okay? They'll act like a hot mess right now, but then 6 months down the line, they'll be fine, they'll be healed, they would have moved on. Men suppress their feelings over and over and over, and that's why they randomly come back into your life 3 years down the line, because they never heal, they never do the inner work, okay? They put on this detachment front, but men don't know how to do that for the most part. So let's not look at them to be examples for us. And I also want to use this as an opportunity to say, don't see detachment as I need to bury my feelings down and be cold. Like I said at the beginning of the video, it's still giving people your heart and still communicating things and expressing your emotions. That is okay and that is allowed. It's putting in the habits and putting in the practice of letting go of control to every outcome. Chapter 3, the importance of detachment when manifesting. I spoke about this briefly in my Lucky Girl Syndrome video, and there was some confusion around it, and I am here to clear all of that up. Now, one of the things I said is that visualization is a very powerful tool in manifesting your dream life. For example, every night before you fall asleep and you're on your pillow and you're closing your eyes, literally just imagine every single night, this is who I'm gonna be, what I'm gonna look like, how I'm gonna dress, what my work life is gonna look like, my weekends, my family, all of that, right? But a lot of people thought, but how do I do that and also be detached? That means I'm thinking about it all the time, I'm obsessing, right? No, because you can vision board your dream life. You can write down your goals. You can work towards them every day. You can imagine them every night before you go to sleep, and you can still be detached because you are not worrying about, but how is it gonna become a reality? How am I gonna make it happen? But what if this? What if that? I don't have these tools. This isn't realistic, but am I actually gonna get there? Get rid of all of those questions. You are too attached to it. You can think about it all the time and work towards your goals and still be detached because you are releasing all of that control, putting it out into the universe and knowing all of your desires are going to come to you because they seek you out just as much as you seek them out. The detachment rule for this chapter is making room. You are giving the universe space to work in your favor and bring all of your desires to you. You are surrendering your plans to the higher power, knowing that things always work out for you. Another amazing way to manifest, and I've been doing this for years, is by journaling. You can either buy a plain notebook and script out your manifestations, or you could actually buy a guided manifestation journal. This is the one that I've been using recently. Okay, look how gorgeous this is. The quality though. And the pages inside literally guides you week by week with practical exercises to allow you to manifest. It's called Manifest by Persis, who has kindly sponsored this video. There'll be more information in the description for you guys to check out. I've literally just been using this for the last week or so. My favorite thing about this journal is that every page is so detailed and offers you something different, and it's structured week by week. And you know, you have your inner check-ins, which I've done, you have your mental health check-in, which is so useful alongside trying to manifest. And I actually discovered a lot of useful manifestation techniques through this journal, which I'd never even heard of before. So it was very helpful in actually manifesting my desires. And this is what I mean, you can put in the time and effort to journal consistently in order to manifest your desires and do all of these useful exercises while still knowing you are detached. Because you know, I'm gonna put in 5 minutes every night to do some journaling, go to sleep, and know now that I've done that exercise, I deserve my desires. They're going to come to me. I don't have to worry about how it's going to come to fruition. And it's just so practical and easy, and it's literally every manifesting method you need all in one book. And finally, chapter 4, emotional detachment in every other scenario in your life, whether it's family, friends, strangers, the opinions of others, detaching from your past, your future, you name it. The rule to detach from this is all about awareness. It's knowing you're not distancing yourself from people, you are simply freeing your energy from being drained by obsessing about the outcome. You are no longer in a desperate state of mind. So let's start with detaching from our past and our future. A lot of us are heavily attached to our past, especially the mistakes we've made, beating ourselves up for things we've done wrong in the past. Many of us are so haunted by previous versions of ourselves. I know for me, I was for so long. In fact, I would regularly view myself as the version of myself from 6 years ago, even though I'm not that version of myself anymore, just because I had so much trauma around it, and I was literally constantly envisioning my past life rather than living in the present moment. And there are a few ways I got past this. Number one, read the book The Power of Now. This is the number one resource you need to learn about how to detach and stay in the present moment. If you go to the description, my Amazon is linked in there, and it will be in my book recommendations list. Honestly, it's a best-selling book for a reason. Number two, every single day when I wake up, I act like it's the first day of my life. Meaning when I wake up, I say to myself, if this was the first day of my life with all of the things that I've learned, the wisdom I have, the people I have in my life, my achievements, even my belongings, what would I act like? Who would I be? How much confidence would I have, right? So much more. But because when you don't think like that, and when you are harboring all of these past negative memories from your past, it weighs you down and it lowers your confidence, and that's where a lot of your self-doubt comes from as well. And here's the thing that helped me the most, and a lot of people don't realize it. The past is not real. It doesn't exist. The only thing that life is a collection of present moments, and that is it. We literally only ever have the present. Tomorrow, which is the future right now, when I'm experiencing it, that is the present. I will never be able to actually experience the future or go back and change things in the past. And by constantly reminding myself of that, I was finally able to kind of make my peace with it and realize all I have is this present moment. This 1 second. This second is gonna pass so quickly. What is everything I can do to make this the best second, the best minute, the best hour? And by realizing that time is so fleeting, why would I waste the few present moments that I have, because life is so short, by being concerned about a time that no longer exists and that I'm never going to get access to ever again. Another very important principle of this is staying grounded. Don't let your ego take control when it comes to, oh, but I need to be at a certain place in the future, and if I'm not, then I'm not a good person, or I'm not successful, or that's not going to define my worth in the way I want it to. Similarly, looking at the past and thinking, oh my god, I can't believe I did that, that was so cringe, and like scolding your past self. The past version of you doesn't deserve that. The past version of you, no matter what they did, they were acting on the level of awareness they had at that moment in time. And also, everything they did back then got you to where you are now, so in fact you should be thanking them for all of their failures, strengths and weaknesses. And finally, detachment when it comes to other people, their opinions of us, their approval of us. Let's talk about parents, for instance. Of course, all we ever want to do is get our parents' approval and make them proud of us, but that can be very problematic in the long run. So how do we detach from that when we've literally been raised to chase that approval? And my answer to this is to finally put worth and value to yourself and attach to your own sense of approval and validation. Every single rule, law, principle that I've mentioned on detachment applies to this section of the video and dealing with other people as well. So all I'm going to say for this final part of the video is you are so concerned with other people's opinions of you, and you are always trying to chase others' approval of you, because once again you are looking for emotional fulfillment outside of yourself. Until you do the work and you come back home to yourself and you give yourself that love and approval, you are constantly going to be in a state of chasing it from other people because you are so attached to external circumstances. You need to start attaching to yourself in order to become detached from everything and everyone else. For example, you don't like what I'm doing, that's fine, because I'm attached to myself in the way that no matter what anybody else says, I've sat down and I've had a conversation with myself. I have scripted and journaled my goals and who I want to become and where I want to go in life, that I am so fully aware of who I am that nobody can shake that. All of the disapproval in the world could not shake that, because I know myself too much. I'm too comfortable with myself. I love myself too much. I also know to never take anything personally. A lot of the times our parents try to push us onto a certain path of success or certain things to do because they're acting on their own ego, and I am very aware of that. Just as if my friend was disapproving of me or a stranger didn't get what I was up to, that's fine. No one's ever going to fully understand me, so why would I attach to their opinion of me? Because it's invalid, it's irrelevant to my life. No one in this life can determine my worth or what I should do other than myself, because I am the only person on this planet that actually 100% knows myself. Everybody else's opinions and approval is just a combination of their own projections, trauma, life lessons and mindset. That's got nothing to do with me, so why would I ever listen to it? And that mindset right there, reminding myself of that every day, is detachment. And that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like it and leave a comment down below, and don't forget to join our Discord server. It will be linked in the description. There's actually a channel on there where you can talk to me directly and send me any video requests you have, so make sure you join it and also connect with so many other like-minded women. We have the most positive vibes on that Discord. And also don't forget to follow Sojana Studio on Instagram, because my brand is launching very soon and I don't want you guys to miss out. That's all for now. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Bye.